Today at 1 p.m., the Kingdom of Erusia declared war on the Ocean Federation. Several aircraft appeared over Ocean territory immediately after and caused widespread destruction. The Air Force Department has released a statement that this violent attack was carried out by drones, and that the drones were secretly transported into Osea through shipping containers. Now this from the Navy. The Secretary of the Navy reports that enemy attacks targeted naval ports across the country, and that all of the nation's aircraft carriers, including those still under construction, sustained damage. There is no confirmation yet as to the fate of carriers which were out to sea at the time. Meanwhile, the following news has just come in. The Erusian Air Force has occupied the International Space Elevator, which is still under construction in the south of Usea. Former President Harling was currently inspecting the elevator, but we are unable to confirm his situation. Some of our political sources are saying that the declaration of war is in response to the construction of the space elevator on the continent of Usea, currently under Erusian rule. Harling championed the project, but Erusia may have seen it as a threat to its economy. The Ocean Federation's government has declared a state of national emergency. They have ordered its air and naval forces, including the dispatched Usian peacekeeping forces, to prepare for a counterattack. Ladies and gentlemen, our country is now officially at war. And now for a recap.
Breaking news from ENN.
Osea launched a major attack against the capital region, striking Farbati from their aircraft carrier, the Kestrel II warship. They were repelled, however, by the Erusian forces. During the onslaught, the Ocean Air Force fired missiles at the city and shot down a number of Erusian fighters, some of which crashed into heavily populated residential areas.
"20 years ago, a crumbling asteroid struck Earth. Usea was unlucky with the planet's rotation and took the hit. Took it hard, too. Refugees surged into the biggest country on the continent, the Erusian Republic, plunging it into chaos. A war broke out in desperation. However, it was one that Erusia would lose. Later, another war broke out between the two largest nations on two continents. And my father died in that war. It nearly killed me to hear that. In time, Osea believed only it could bring peace and stability to the world. That's how the space elevator, which stretches far up into the heavens, came to be constructed on Usea, paid with Ocean money. The proposal was made by President Harling in good faith. If it worked, it could bring the long-suffering Usian nations back from the brink. But to those in Erusia, it just looked like a way for Osea to seize control. Erusia went from being a republic back to being a kingdom. Nobody was ready for just how much of a threat they posed. The moment the declaration was made, Erusian forces attacked the space elevator, seizing control without spilling any blood. Former President Harling, who was inspecting the elevator, went missing. At the same time, shipping container roofs opened up on Erusian ships moored all around Osea. They unleashed a horde of unmanned fighters, swarming everywhere. With pinpoint accuracy, they took out anything military, leaving all else untouched. Not a single civilian target was hit in the attack. In contrast to Osea, which had been heavily criticized for its excessive global military presence, Erusia managed to do the impossible with deadly efficiency. And me? I happened to be in my air drag racer right in the middle of it all. And lucky me, I survived. I crash-landed in a smoke-filled Ocean Air Force base, where they arrested me for breaking wartime aviation laws or some crap. In the blink of an eye, the world had gone completely to hell.
Today, Ocean airstrikes shattered the lives of countless Erusians. Their attacks practically leveled the school I went to.
I, a mere citizen, was tried by the Ocean Air Defense Force's court-martial. They found me guilty and stuffed me into a cargo ship. My travel load consisted of some soldiers who had been found guilty by the court-martial and a few of those familiar aircraft from the desert storage. We headed south for several days before swinging east. That's how I came here, thousands of kilometers from Arusia on the opposite side of the Yusian continent. This dull-as-hell port was home to 3 sham frigates, but they're nothing more than a poor man's guard ship. Base. Barbed wire surrounded us, and an observation tower fitted with a searchlight and machine guns watched over us. An armored truck was permanently parked in front of the gate. Its gun turret was aimed inward. A prison. The entire place was just a dirty and disgusting sham. Half the tankers were inflatable, and the runway was completely unusable, just a drawing on the ground designed to make it look like a base. The real reason they sent me here? They realized I'd restored a supersonic aircraft. They told me to make something that looked like aircraft to go with the fake runway, and the materials I was to use were the rusted-out planes from the Ocean mainland. So, I tried to escape. And they set the dogs on me.